Hey there, Virgo. Welcome to your reading for the week, or sorry, this is your bonus reading for the eclipse that we are going to be having on the 8th in Taurus. We're just going to do a Celtic cross and see what is coming up for you during this eclipse or even after the eclipse as well. So you start off with the Five of Swords. It is interesting that you have the Five of Swords and Five of Wands. Some of you, could be feeling conflicted, or you could be experiencing certain types of conflict. It's kind of interesting as well that I get an energy of really needing to make sure that you don't give up during this eclipse for this reason right here. Putting these two cards together, I'm putting them both together. You had the Five of Swords as your general energy and the Five of Wands as your crossing energy or whatever. It doesn't matter. I feel like these two are meant to come up together. And again, I read intuitively anyway, so, deal with it. But what I would say here is I feel like this is saying don't give up, on something. This could be a goal, wish, or dream. I feel like you just haven't figured it out yet. And again, that's not a criticism, because I think if you don't give up, you're about to figure something out in your life. And this feels extremely powerful for me. I mean, for you, I should say, but to me, I feel like I want to get behind you and push you forward, but not in a bad way. Like, as in, I'm supporting you here, Virgo. That's like the energy that I get off of these cards, or like what I want to do because of it. It's almost like, that Five of Swords is talking about defeat or feeling defeated. And I feel the Five of Wands is like conflict, competition. But the whole entire reading, I feel is saying, no, you're about to accomplish your Ten of Cups, your happily ever after. Ten of Cups is, pretty much whatever you see as your ultimate happiness. And I feel like that's what you need to realize. I kind of feel this is saying, okay, like, you've been through it, but don't give up now. In the area of your thoughts, you have the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is kind of like planting seeds. So funny enough, even though you have this energy that says don't give up, I feel like you are at least willing to experiment. I feel like you're willing to try new things. I feel like you're willing to do things differently, and that's exactly what I would be doing if I were you with this energy, is trying something new or trying different things, or, kind of having new experiences. It's an energy of, he's giving to one person but not the other, but what I would say is that it's about giving your energy to the things that return energy to you. And I feel like you're about to start, I feel like this is saying don't give up, because you're about to start getting those clues. Maybe you haven't been getting clues that you're moving in the right direction, but I feel like you're about to get a bunch of clues that you are moving in the right direction. I feel like you're almost getting like information or encouragement or, kind words from people in your life that are saying like, hey, come this way, because we will help you. We will, do whatever for you. I also feel, there's a way to read the Six of Cups that, it kind of represents like an angel in disguise. There are like a lot of movies and TV shows where there's like a homeless person that helps the hero of the story, right? Where maybe there's like a homeless person on the street and the hero in the movie gives them money, and then the homeless person gives them like some special knowledge or some special information, right? And it kind of represents like an angel in disguise. I have that here, where I'm not saying it's a homeless person. It might be. It could be anyone, but I almost feel that there could be some like angels on your path, and these could be people that are coming in for you that you should not ignore, right? It's about needing to realize that someone has something special for you. It could be like a friend, a family member, just a random person that you bump into in the store or something like that, that gives you some knowledge. And I don't know, it's popping into my head. I never use that meaning of the Six of Pentacles, but it can mean that. And that's what I'm getting here. And you also have the Temperance card, which has an angel on it. So, it kind of makes sense to me. In the area of your foundation, you have the Fool. The Fool is about, of course, taking a leap of faith. You always get the Fool with me every single reading I do for you. So I feel like it's time to take a leap of faith. It's definitely time to get moving. Again, you have this dog here. The dog is nipping at his heels. The dog represents companionship, but kind of also represents royalty as well. The dog is a Maltese, and during the times of tarot, Malteses were like the dogs of royalty. And so it's popping into my head, number one. That's why I'm saying this. Number two, I feel like you're on this path where maybe you're not going to become royalty, but I feel like it's like this path to fulfillment that you are stepping off on here. In the past, you have the Ten of Swords. I feel like something very difficult is finally, it's like you finally feel like maybe it came to an end a long time ago, right? You maybe went through a breakup or a health issue or a concern or something else. Feels almost like a tower moment to me, but extended, if that makes sense. And so I feel some of you have been through it. recently, over the past couple of years, maybe since the beginning of COVID even or something. I feel like you can finally feel like you're finally saying to yourself, okay, like it finally feels like the end. It finally feels like you can turn things around. It feels good. And I love that this is obviously coming up in your past, not your present. You have the Temperance card. You finally feel like you have control over your life. This is coming up in the area of your near future. Temperance is about alchemy. It's about transformation, turning, water into wine. So I feel, again, that you feel that you can turn things around on your own. Feeling very powerful, feeling very strong. I love this for you, Virgo. I feel like you have control over your own destiny. And also, I feel that you feel like your 10 of Cups is more within reach. It's something that you can actually accomplish now, where maybe in the past you didn't think you could accomplish true fulfillment. And I'm not talking about love here either with the 10 of Cups. It could be. That could be part of it, but it feels like your 10 of Cups is your happily ever after, whatever that is for you. Over the next few months, you have the Page of Wands. Wouldn't surprise me if you were kind of like traveling, or if there were opportunities for you to travel in the near future. Maybe you're saying, I'm not going to travel in the near future, but guess what? I think some of you will, quite surprisingly too. So maybe you don't think you're going to travel, but you actually are. I also feel you're kind of like on this new adventure with the Page of Wands, and I would keep moving in that direction. I feel like something needs more polish. I'm pretty sure I said this to you recently, because I'm getting the same word. Like, I feel like I used the word polish with you in a recent reading. It's like something is very rough right now, and it feels like work or business to me. Take it how it resonates. You could be retired. Maybe you're wanting to work on a project or write a book or something like that. I think it just needs like a little bit more, like, a little bit more. Not even polished, like sanding. It's like almost like you have a rough stone that you want to turn into like one of those orbs, like a circle. I used to have one here. Of course, I don't have it because I'm trying to prove a point here. But the point is, it's like I think it's a rough stone right now that could easily be turned into a ball. Like one of those crystal balls, or whatever. I don't know. Enough talking about balls here, Virgo. But what I would say is, I feel a lot of you it's about going on the adventure. It's like the only way you're going to be able to polish whatever you're polishing, or you're turning something to like a giant pearl or something. The only way you're going to be able to do it is by going on the adventure of getting started and kind of putting things into action. I also do feel there could be new love for some of you. You have, in the area of your closest relationships, you have the Lovers. So love coming in here. And the Lovers is like true love. So it's something divinely guided, something that's meant to be in your life. And I am kind of focused on the clouds here. Look, they can't see the higher self up here. The higher self is guiding them. But it is kind of funny because I do feel for some of you that are getting into a connection, there's like a little bit of confusion still. It's like not perfect, but that's okay. Nothing in life should be perfect, I believe personally. It's like perfect is freaking boring, right? If everything were perfect, we would be bored. There'd be nothing to do. So I think perfect is boring, but there's definitely some like maybe little obstacles to overcome. You have the 8 of Wands. You have the 10 of Cups. I feel you will overcome these obstacles, but I think if you worry about them, you're going to magnify them. So, try not to be overly concerned about your obstacles. Of course, we have to look at our obstacles because how else can we overcome them? But again, I wouldn't be creating a bunch of fears and illusions and things that don't exist around them either. This is the area of your closest relationships as well. So I think all your relationships are just kind of going to have a nice energy, because lovers, even outside of love, like our friendships, our family, things like that, really good energy for that. In the area of your future feelings, you have the 8 of Wands, things moving very quickly. This is true for everyone. I mean, I think we're in a time of acceleration in the first place. So, I think life is moving quickly, faster and faster. I feel like you're building up a lot of abundance. I feel like you're thinking of ways to become more abundant, to do more of the things that you need to do as well. It's kind of funny because I think some of you, I think this is true for everyone. As I've said before, to me, money is going to be very different in the future. And people always ask me, does that mean Bitcoin? I'm like, well, maybe. But, I wouldn't count on that either. Or I wouldn't count on anything because, there's too much, there's a lack of predictability just in general with Uranus and Taurus as well. But we also have Neptune and Pisces, which rules anything that flows. Neptune will be in Pisces until the end of 2025. So I think between now and then, there's going to be some major changes in our financial world. Let's put it that way. Could be Bitcoin. It could be something else that we don't know about. So, I would say it could be anything. And again, I don't like to necessarily make these predictions because to me, with Uranus and Taurus, it's too much, it's too much up up in the air. I love Bitcoin, but again, I'm also willing to be wrong, right? So that's what I'll say about that. But I feel enough babbling on here, Virgo. I feel like there's something changing with your finances, but it's like the way you look at it. It's like you're looking at it as more of a tool. It's like I think if you had $1 billion, for example, I think you'd be very happy that you had it. It's like you'd be like, okay, great. But at the same time, it's like you're starting to use it differently, which is interesting that it's popping into my head. So it's also interesting because it's like maybe some of you kind of are changing some money blocks in your head where you're saying like, okay, money, maybe I do believe that billionaires are evil, but at the same time, I also understand that money is just a tool. It's like something is changing here. You have the Ten of Cups as your outcome. Ten of Cups is fortune after difficulty, so I feel there's a lot of happiness coming in for you. Amazing card for love as well. I also feel it's asking you to focus. Sorry, I didn't switch. I think it's asking you to focus on those 10 cups. Those 10 cups exist in that rainbow up there, but they're still having to deal with the problems and the issues of the world, this family right here. So it kind of says that they're choosing to focus on what makes them happy. They're not focusing on, anything that makes them not happy. And that's exactly what I'd be doing here, Virgo, is focusing on your happiness and joy. And it doesn't mean that you're not focusing on the real world. Of course you are. It just means you're majority of the time focusing on happiness. Again, as I always say, I think that we live in the real world, right? We don't live in La La Land. So, I totally understand the fact that we have to focus on things that are happening in the world so we can pay attention. But I think we should be a majority positive, right? With the Five of Swords and the Five of Wands, you have this egotism card. You could have dealt with an ending due to someone's ego or due to someone having an ego or something like that here. But, I feel like you've gone through an ego death. Something's happened. Something happened to you, Virgo. I don't know what. And again, it's none of my business either. But what I'd say here is I feel like some of you have gone through some sort of ego death over the past, 5 years or something like that. But at least since the beginning of COVID, right? And again, this happens to everyone in life. And I don't think it's a bad thing or a good thing. I think it's just just is what it is. But it's made you, probably it's leading to, I would say, I don't want to say it's made you a better person. I don't think you were ever a bad person. I think it's making you more successful. Let's put it that way, for sure. With the Six of Pentacles, you have the inheritance card. I think you're inheriting ideas. I would pay attention. It's like, I think there have been a lot of things. Maybe, I just want to say that I feel like you've learned a lot of the same lesson over and over and over again, right? And I think you need to look at those lessons and say, like, what did I learn from this? Because I think you are inheriting some knowledge that could make you very successful. That's really what I'm getting here. Some of you, of course, could be getting an inheritance, but I don't really feel that. I feel this is more knowledge, something that you've learned from other people that could lead to a lot of success for you. With the Fool card, you have this intuition card. Definitely time to trust your intuition. I feel like your intuition is encouraging you to have new beginnings with the Fool card. The Fool is about taking a leap of faith, but I also feel it's kind of like saying it's time for you to get moving towards something bigger, newer, better in your life, because that's where success is going to come from. So don't be afraid to take a leap of faith, to do something new, and trust your intuition. With the Temperance card, you have the Assertion card. I really feel, here's the thing that I'll say about the Temperance card is this is what you really want right here. And it is this is the path to glory on the Temperance card. And there's that glowing crown in the background. It kind of represents, something that you really, really want in your life. And I feel like this Assertion card is saying, go for it. You can see it's a knight who's slaying a dragon. Dragons represent our fears. Dragons guard gold. It basically says, our fears guard our true reward in life. Once we face our fears, I guarantee you, if you think of some of your bigger fears or what you're afraid of in life, behind it is probably everything you want in life. So I would encourage you to face some fears, even if you have to start small. With that energy, you're going to be very successful. With the Page of Wands, you have lust. I'm wondering if this is part of the problem in a connection. I feel that some of you could be, kind of lusting after a person. Is this a bad thing? I would say no. It's I do think sometimes we get into relationships that are more lusty, where there's more lust than maybe love initially. I think as long as you are balancing it out and understanding what you truly want, whether, it could be them as well. You could be attracting a person who is lusting after you. I don't think it has to be a bad thing as long as you create balance in this situation. Again, I think it's I think the expectations need to be set up front of what something is between you and a person. I'd say especially if you're attracting an Aries very specifically here. If it's not an Aries, could be someone born close to Aries as well, but it could also just be a person. And maybe it's a very lusty, but I think there needs to be more than that situation. I also, again, chameleon. There's a chameleon on this card. I'm pretty sure in a recent reading I asked you, I said, are you changing or is a person changing for you? I feel you need to make sure that you're getting the real person up front. Let's put it that way. With the Lovers, you have the protection card. Yeah, see, I feel like this situation is protected. Something is divinely guided into your life as far as love is concerned. So if you're attracting a person or if you're recently with a new person or whatever, it's like divinely protected with this energy, I would say. More Aries energy, so wouldn't surprise me if you're dealing with like an Aries or someone who is born close to Aries, Pisces, Taurus, could be any of that, but does seem divinely guided. With the Eight of Wands, you have this Charity card. Yeah, you're not the only person to get this as well. The Charity card is about gratitude. And, I think I kind of said this earlier or no, maybe I didn't say it to you, but I would be soaking in your victories at this time, Virgo. There's something about this eclipse where I think we could be having some victories maybe during or after, or maybe you've already had some. And whatever, these victories could be in any area of your life, work, business, love, spirituality, whatever. And I feel like you need to like really soak those victories up, like really kind of like be grateful for them and really enjoy a victory as well. Like I think we all have a tendency to run past our victories, meaning we have the victory, then we're on to the next one, right? I feel like this is saying, no, soak up those small wins, because if you do that, then you're just creating more of that positive energy, which I think we all should be doing right now. With that Ten of Cups, you have this inspiration card. Love it. I would focus on your inspirations at this time. It's a very magical time, Virgo, and it's a very unrealistic time as well. But I would encourage people to be unrealistic. I would encourage people to be unreasonable in a good way as well. Meaning, if you have some big-ass goal, wish, or dream that just seems crazy, but you truly feel inspired to do it, then I would do it. I feel that everyone is being asked to do that right now, just because we need some big wins. I think we need a win for Team Human. Let's put it that way. And if you have those wins, you could be inspiring other people to have wins. And then you're kind of like doing what you're supposed to be doing spiritually. So that's that. Looks really good, Virgo. Pretty simple. I'm going to pull 3 cards now, and I'm going to answer one question. So if you have a question, feel free to pause the reading and think of your question if you need time to think. If you don't have a question, I'm going to put all 3 cards together just as kind of like a general personal-ish reading. But I'm going to read the cards right now. You have the Empress, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune. Damn. This is a glow up if I haven't ever seen one. If you're doing something new that is changing your destiny, I feel there's clearly a lot of success for you. Taurus, by the way, you could be attracting a Taurus. You could also just be very attractive at this time, and you could be attracting one of the fixed signs. You have a lot of fixed energy in your reading here. Could be an Aquarius, Scorpio, a Taurus, or a Leo that is coming in for you in love. Ace of Pentacles is like the path to marriage, so... And the Wheel of Fortune is destiny. So it's like something is destined to be in your life. I also feel that a lot of you are attracting a lot of abundance, but it's going to be through the birth of something new. Again, Empress represents like birth. She is the mother, and it doesn't matter what gender you are. It just means that you are working on something new. Ace of Pentacles is like the seed that we plant in the soil, something new that we have to like nurture into existence. And we see a lot of nurturing energy here. The Empress, again, she's like the mother. She really takes care of, anything new that she's working on. She raises it and treats it as if it were a baby. So I feel like you need to do that. Finally, with this Wheel of Fortune, the secret with the Wheel of Fortune is that we want to be at the center of the wheel here. The center of the wheel is the best position because everything spins around us when we're at the center, but we aren't spinning with the wheel. The wheel is just spinning around us when we're in the middle. So it's kind of like we can, see things that are coming at us. We can see the things that we need to deal with in life, and we can, avoid things or work with energies or whatever when we're at the center of the wheel. So that's what I would do here. I also feel that, of course, eclipses are like very fated energy. They kind of represent karma and fate. So there could be a lot of like karmic situations that you're dealing with, not in a bad way. I feel like you're like taking control of your destiny more than anything, but it looks pretty good here, Virgo. So thank you for being here, Virgo. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.